Royalty is my identity. Servanthood is my assignment. Intimacy with God is my life source. I can't afford to have thoughts in my head about me that God doesn't have in His. The renewed mind is the canvas on which the Spirit of God can paint. Don't let your past dictate your future. Great faith doesn't come out of great effort, but out of great surrender. A culture of honor is celebrating who a person is without stumbling over who they're not. We owe the world an encounter with God. Faith doesn't deny a problem's existence. It denies it a place of influence. Gifts are free, but maturity is expensive. A heart of faith is anchored in the unseen. You know your mind is renewed when the impossible looks logical. Rule with the heart of a servant. Serve with the heart of a king. Many Christians miss out on God encounters because they are satisfied with good theology. Great faith doesn't come out of great effort, but out of great surrender. In order to have a peace that surpasses all understanding, you have to give up your right to understand. I will not lower the standard of the Bible to my level of experience. The only true worship is extreme worship, and only extreme worship brings extreme results, transformation. When you're willing to do what you're unqualified to do, that's what qualifies you. Transformed people transform cities. Evangelism, in its purest form, is an overflow of worship. Complaining proves nothing but that you can hear the voice of the devil. No one has ever overdosed on encouragement. If you don't live by the praise of men, you won't die by their criticism. Whatever you gain through self-promotion, you'll have to sustain through self-promotion. When our promotion comes from God, He sustains it. It is inconsistent to have Jesus pay a price for healing, and for us to believe it is not God's intention to heal. Whenever God restores something, He restores it to a place greater than it was before. Perfectionism is the counterfeit of excellence. Excellence is kingdom, while perfectionism is religion. Whatever you do, do it with all you might, and as unto the Lord. That is excellence. Your shadow will always release whatever overshadows you. Obedience is not measured by our ability to obey laws and principles. Obedience is measured by our response to God's voice. A private victory leads to a public victory and a corporate blessing, because God turns His face toward those who will demonstrate character when no one is looking. We need to remain childlike. Children don't dream of being insignificant. The journey makes things valuable, not the title. Learn to enjoy and value the process of what God is doing. The most simple way to stay encouraged is to feed your heart on what He is doing, not on what He hasn't done. If you can't see what He is doing, feed on what He has done in the past. You won't have to watch what you say if you watch what you think. When we pursue kingdom principles above His presence, we are looking for the kingdom without a king. You have authority over every storm you can sleep in. Sacrifice is a step beyond convenience. The way you silence fear is to give attention to faith. What is the will of God? On earth as it is in heaven. If it doesn't exist there, it's not supposed to exist here. If it does exist there, it's supposed to exist here. Grace is the atmosphere created by love that makes faith the only reasonable response.